Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. This is episode 10 of the Canadian Geekcast. Yay, we made it 10 episodes.
Double digits.
Yay!
Yay!
Woo!
And we haven't killed each other.
Yeah.
Which is
is the key word there.
Quite the
Yes,
accomplishment.
Yeah. So today I am being joined by Steph.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And we've got Josh.
What is happening?
And Dennis.
Yes, not Josh. Hi.
Yes, the not Josh.
You want to be, though.
Yes, everyone wants to be Josh. And we've got Steve.
Hey, what a great time to be alive, guys.
His E3 is right around the corner.
Matt,
Right.
have you ever introduced yourself?
I was just gonna say, Matt, who are you?
Like, who
Have
are
you
you
ever said,
really?
I'm Matt, and here's like, I'm gonna go back and listen to the 10 podcast.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I started off with as I'm your host Matt, and today I'm joined by so and so.
Yeah.
At least I think so.
I have to
Maybe I
imagine.
should.
Do people not know who you are for 10 episodes?
Who is this weird
There's a
guy? I'm
random
talking
voice.
to?
Yeah.
This disembodied voice that nobody knows who it is.
Who is this man?
Is he an AI?
Although I know for a fact at the end of each episode you do give yourself an outro, so if they stick around long enough, they'd know who you were.
That's true.
So
That's
maybe
true.
like
We-
half
we-
the people know who you are.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yep. And don't forget, what was it, last episode we discovered my secret hatred and why I hate pineapple.
Ah, yes.
The
Yeah.
pineapple
My family was
origins.
brutally murdered by pineapple.
In some cases, you should be thanking the pineapple, but whatever.
Pineapple's the true hero. We deserve
Sure.
and need.
Yeah. Each week we like to get together to discuss everything from the latest video game, film, and TV news to kind of what's on our mind as well. And we try to have the show go live Tuesdays, but sometimes it doesn't work out. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review on like Podbeam or iTunes or wherever. You can also send us an email with your comments and or suggestions to CanadianGeekCST@gmail.com, and we may even read them on the next show. All right, so this is going to be the first of our 4 E3 prediction episodes, and what we're going to be talking about is Microsoft's E3 and kind of what we're predicting. The next episode, we're going to be doing our Sony predictions, which will then be followed by a Nintendo episode, and then we're going to round everything off with a third-party discussion. So be sure to tune in to all 4 episodes, that way you can kind of catch what we predict for all 4 camps. Well, with that out of the way, I think it's time we dive into this episode.
Please, Spock, do me a favor. And don't say it's fascinating. No. But it is interesting.
So we're going to dive into our first topic, which is our Microsoft E3 2018 predictions. We're going to kind of do like a bit of a round table on this one. Who would like to go first with their first
I'll go.
Microsoft E3 prediction?
Sure.
Steve?
Yeah.
All right, take us away.
So this year, I think we're in a really good spot for Microsoft. I think after years of being putting like them against the wall, I think we're going to see a massive push for Microsoft. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be almost a make it or break it kind of thing for them. But I think like if we're betting men and women here, I think it's safe to say that at least we're going to see an announcement of a new AAA studio. They're going to come out and say, we've been working with X company, or we formed this new company. Here it is. And I don't know if we're going to see a name out of them, but they're just going to say, this is our partnership. This is what we're forming. And maybe we'll even get a revisited IP. I think if, trends go to show, they didn't bring back the OG Xbox games for nothing. I think Crimson Skies being one of the major ones, and they got really good reception out of bringing that game and putting it on backwards compatibility. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like Crimson Skies 2 come out of it.
Not a bad thought. I never played Crimson Skies, but yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Josh, you want to go next?
All right, so I'm gonna throw something kind of wacky out there on this one. I think we're going to see the return of somebody who we've all been waiting to see come back into the spotlight again for quite some
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
I think we might see Mr. Gabe Newell saunter out onto the stage and announce that there's a massive partnership with Microsoft and Steam comes to Xbox in the next year.
Ooh.
I think that would
Wow.
be huge. The Steam box failed. Let's all admit it. It was garbage. It didn't do much.
Uh-huh.
Microsoft and Valve have a very good working business relationship already. I think,
Yeah.
and with also all the rumors that they're willing to unload a crap ton of money to get some major acquisition, I think this might be it. I mean, I know people are saying EA, but that doesn't feel right to me. It just doesn't seem like something that they would do. So I think we could see possibly the Steam platform coming to Xbox. That gives us a massive library of games that we may not have had prior to this, because I think the tools are there to very quickly and easily port these games over. And I also feel kind of like maybe that whole move to the Valve recently did to get those quote unquote sexually explicit games off of their platform may be partially due to this as well.
Interesting.
That's actually that's a good point. Now, to for that part, do you think if this were to come to fruition, do you think it would be that you would then be able to games in your Steam library, if it's going to be, say, like, let's say the backwards compatibility games, there's going to be like a patch, because the Xbox One is an x86 platform, so there should be very little that needs to be done. A lot of Steam games already support Xbox controllers.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be that your existing Steam library, anything that's compatible, would then be playable? Or
absolutely,
do you think that they could also do, like, right now there's the in-home streaming where your host PC does all the heavy lifting and then you just stream it on another platform? Do you think that could also, or it could be like
I think
the Steam Link.
It could be both for sure.
Yeah.
You're right. I think it could easily be both. But I think stage one would just be getting what is available and compatible. Stage one would be to make that happen, and then the next step is, do the game streaming from whatever, your Xbox or whatever, to your handheld while you're on the can type thing.
Sure. Interesting.
That would make me a very happy man. I'd finally be able to start going through my Steam library again.
That would make Xbox infinitely more valuable to me.
Oh my god!
I think it would be
huge.
it'd be a massive coup for them, and
Yeah.
it's a huge value add just having that on there. Right?
Would it work both ways though? Like, what if Xbox like exclusives came to Steam as well? Would that happen in your scenario anyway?
Maybe I'm not really sure what the logistics behind that would be, but I mean, like, Microsoft, they've already got their online
Play
platform
anywhere.
for those games, right? I don't
I
know.
would love if this meant that they'd stopped using the goddamn Microsoft Store and PC.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
Oh my
God. There's a lot of Xbox games I see on that store. Like, I would love to play this on Steam, but I'm not going through this hullabaloo of the Microsoft Store.
It's so bad.
You heard it here, folks. It's hullabaloo.
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 That's my word of the day. That's my word of the day.
I like it.
Yeah.
That could be a new segment, is Dennis's word of the day. See, I don't have really many issues with the Microsoft Store.
I don't either. Not through the
I've only
Xbox.
played
Through
Recore,
through PC it sucks balls, but
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of bad things about the PC one. Like,
But
you need to have a certain update, and then this, that, and the other, and you have to be signed into a certain account, and you can't sign out of that account. And just if you're a viewer, like, and you buy the game, then you can't claim your reviewer copy. Like, apparently it's just a disaster on PC.
Oh, okay.
One other side note to that that prediction that I had. I think that they're going to announce that there's going to be a Half-Life 3 if this happens, and that's going to be, I think, possibly the marquee sort of launching title for that platform, for that partnership.
That would be like nuclear bomb level type.
That would blow the internet up.
It really would.
Yeah, no, that would break the internet.
I know. I'm really reaching here, guys, but I mean, I want to have
You're reaching.
That's all this episode is.
It hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Well, Think about it,
Exactly.
though.
Hasn't Half-Life 3 been predicted almost every year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically.
it
And it's
has.
funny because Valve
It's
keeps
like-
being
it-
it's dead.
it's
Just
like-
let it die. It's dead. Here's like the literal story that we had for it. It is dead. You know, like it's funny how many
Yeah.
times they've been.
And everyone's just like,
Stop.
no, it's coming
It's
back.
At this
printing money,
point-
though, like nobody's gonna kill a franchise that prints money.
No.
At this point, it's
Exactly.
just a joke, though. Like it's like
Yeah.
anything that happens, like lol, Half-Life 3 confirmed. It's a joke at this point. I'd be shocked, like though. I don't know.
Everybody would be
I mean,
shocked.
what we're gonna do with all the gaming memes? Like everyone talks about Half-Life
Yeah.
3 that way.
Yeah, that's true. All the Half-Life 3 predicted ones, or anything is a power of 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it seems like Valve has kind of been coming into, and Steam has been kind of like in the front of people's minds a lot lately, and I think there's got to be something to it.
Well, especially when
Mhm.
they started picking up studios
Yeah,
to make
Yeah.
games for them.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Steph,
Uh,
what about you?
I don't know. I'm kind of on the boring camp of like I think they're gonna bring back some of their flagship IPs, but something I would like to see is I'd like to see them do something with the HoloLens and some AR stuff, because
Sure.
apart from the initial when they came out with HoloLens in the Microsoft AR space,
Mhm.
they've kind of ditched that and not talked about it since. And I know they're still developing it. Like the HoloLens has gone more into like the medical field and some other areas, but I think it'd be really cool if they could bring that back, especially with the Xbox One X. It'd be kind of cool if they could integrate that somehow with some AR stuff. I don't think
Yeah.
they're gonna like some people are talking about VR stuff. I think they're too late on that, and I think they would focus more on AR, like the HoloLens, like I said. It'd be cool.
It
Yeah.
would be. That would be really cool. Especially, wasn't there always kind of talk about like you could use it in like a shoot or something like that, where all of your HUD overlay is now coming through HoloLens, and there's really nothing on the TV, and or you'd see stuff in your room. That'd be really
Just
cool.
let me be like a god and pick up little people, like in Minecraft.
Have you
or
ever
whatever.
used like anybody here used or tried HoloLens before?
No.
I haven't tried.
No.
No.
I've
Nope.
heard it's very bulky still.
Steve, have
No.
you-
No.
No. Okay. Oh, cool. I'm the
Oh,
only one
cool.
here. So I got to try it at the Edmonton Expo a couple years ago, and yeah, Steph, it is very bulky. It feels very heavy,
Mhm.
and it's a very narrow field of view. So the one when I tried it, it was like a castle building kind of thing, and so there was a castle off to my right, and then when I'd look straight ahead was kind of like your item menu, so you could pick like blocks and stuff, and then it was kind of cool because you'd reach out and it would see your hand, and then I'd kind of go and I'd make a grabbing motion on an item, and then I'd sort of be holding it, and then I'd go and put it down, and it wasn't the
No.
smoothest.
Okay.
It took a little bit I was kind of had to go a little bit slower so it would register the movements and everything, but just being able to actually build the kind of start building up this castle a little bit was really neat. And then so as I'm kind of playing with this, I got a dumb shit-eating grin on my face the entire
course.
time, and then the guy's like, go look over to your left, and I wish my wife had been videotaping this, because I go and I turn to the left and there's this dragon. I was like, holy crap, a dragon! It's just this dragon sitting in the middle of the floor. And it was really neat. But yeah, the field of view is very
small,
very
isn't it?
narrow.
It's just like if you got
Yeah.
your whole peripheral, it's just like this little tiny box, like right there in the front of your face, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure that they've been developing it. I know for like they've
absolutely.
been pouring a lot of money into it. It would just be nice to see that money come into the gaming sphere again.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they're going to do that, they're going to wait until the next console.
Agreed.
Only because, no, I think, Steph, you're right that if they were going to do it, it's going to be focused on the One X because that's where all the power is. But Phil Spencer was really adamant when they were announcing it that no one gets left behind in this generation. So I don't think that they're going to release a peripheral and say it's only compatible with the One X and everyone else gets left behind. I think if they're gonna bring it to console, if that's their plan, they're gonna wait until they get their fresh start.
But they might do like a PSVR thing as well, right? Where it has processors and stuff in it, so it actually
Sure.
it would be compatible for both. I
Okay,
think
yeah.
maybe the reason it didn't
That's
originally
fair.
come out on the Xbox One was because the glasses, the lens themselves weren't there yet. And I'm
Sure,
hoping that
yeah.
they've had these for years. Now it's like a good time to bring that out. I don't know.
No, that's a
Again,
fair point.
It's something that I more want to see than I think will actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there like a bunch of wires on it that hang down the back, and then there's like a little processing unit, a little box that hangs down like running mid back on HoloLens?
I think so. I'm trying to remember back what the whole thing was like. I think it does have some equipment. I always even remember, like, I kind of remember when, like, hearing about it. It's the HoloLens did all the processing, so like you could even use it on like a lower end machine.
Gotcha.
I thought.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought it did. I thought it did do a lot of like its own
okay.
processing.
Okay. Cool.
So, but then it was just trying to package it into something smaller, so you don't have this massive, bulky headset and all these wires and stuff hanging off you. Because the whole idea about the HoloLens is that it is fairly small. You know, it's not, you're not wearing like a big giant VR mask or something like that. So, I guess it's my turn for
What do you think?
my first prediction. I think we're going to see a new Elite controller.
Sick.
Yeah, buddy.
I think that's something that we're going to see. The current Elite controller has had, maybe it's just people that are just insanely rough with their peripherals, but has had some quality issues where buttons and D-pad and analog sticks are breaking. I see it quite often on the Xbox One subreddit. Usually it's somebody ranting about the crap quality of this controller and why did I spend, it shouldn't be like this if I spent
Nearly.
how much is the Elite controller? Like, it's over $100.
Or 169 Canadian.
It's
I think.
$150
169 or something like that.
Jeez.
179. Yeah.
So, so I think we're going to see a new Elite controller, maybe something where they've taken all of those cases of where like the most common failure points
Right.
are and kind of do something to beef it up, so to prevent any kind of additional damage. And I think it's going to not just be an Elite controller, but it's going to be this is embarrassing. I should know all this. What is it? The controller studio where you can actually customize and design your own colored controller.
Design Labs?
Yeah.
Don't worry. I tripped
so it's
over
gonna
this a
be-
couple weeks ago too.
Yeah, so I think the Elite controller is going to also be coming
Yeah.
to Design Labs. So we're going to see a brand new Elite controller, and it's going to be available through Design Labs.
That would be wicked.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, like
I think
you were saying,
that's-
not that I've like broken my controller yet, but the left analog stick has started getting really loose to the point where you can feel the difference between the two. I know that a while ago when it started, like the rumors started circulating that they were saying that you can adjust the friction on the analog stick. So whether or not you want it to be loose, like if you're playing like a Twitch shooter or something like really firm, if you're playing something more precision, I think that would be really sweet. I know a lot of people, like you were saying, the bumper buttons, they pop off really easily for some people.
That's usually where I see a lot of pictures and stuff. People complaining is your shoulder
if they can
buttons.
fix that, and man, if they put it in Design Labs, that's a real winner for me because I would be all over that.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my only concern with it would be how expensive it would get.
I could probably, because if the current Design Labs controller is about 150 US, or no, the Elite's 150 US. How much is a Design
almost
Labs
100.
controller? It's almost
Yeah.
100.
My Design Labs controller, after all was said and done, was it was like $170 or something like that.
I don't remember it being like, I have one myself, and I don't remember it being that.
I got absolutely everything.
Oh,
they
that's
sent me
why.
So I got sent a gift card for this specifically, and I got like all the add-ons that I could get because it covered the cost, right?
It starts at 100 Canadian with free shipping.
Okay.
So I then think we could see easily $200 US as the starting
Right.
point for an Elite 2 Design Labs controller.
Yeah, that doesn't seem
So that's
that doesn't
kind of where
seem out of the
I
realm of
think it will be.
possibility to me either. That's
No.
what I was thinking.
That'd be wicked.
All right, Dennis, what's your number 2?
My number one.
Number one.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
prediction number one.
He still hasn't done Xbox yet.
Oh, he still
Yeah.
hasn't gone yet. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So I think my prediction is just picking off Steve's a bit. I'm predict. It's not. It's only a little. There's only a little comparison. I'm predicting that a new Microsoft IP will be announced in partnership with a third-party publisher. Because in recent
Okay, yeah.
in recent E3s, they've been doing a lot of partnerships with developers, and some of those haven't been working out that well. So I
Sure.
think partnership with let's say maybe Sega, because I remember hearing a couple months ago that Microsoft executives went down to Japan, to see some. I don't know what the meeting is about. Could be about getting a certain game on their platform, or it could be more detail about an in-person meeting about this. And I think this will be announced. I don't think there's going to be that much detail, or even like a release year. It's just a little tease of what's coming to Xbox.
Like a splash screen or a scissor reel.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could
that's a
see
good
that.
one.
Josh?
My next one is so Microsoft is going to change their games as a service model a little bit. We're all familiar with Xbox Live and now Game Pass. I think one of two things will happen there. They're either going to bundle Live and Game Pass together as like a platinum service for like maybe, I don't know, I'll just throw the number like maybe $129.99 kind of feels right to me.
Yeah.
Or they drop the pay to play model on Live. Everybody gets gold right off the start, and they turn Game Pass into their only subscription service. And I feel like that could be a big potential, purely because Sony only just got into charging people for online gameplay, right? So playing with your friends.
Yeah, started PS4.
It wasn't all that long ago when they did that. So for Microsoft, they've got the infrastructure. It's already built. It's like one of the biggest in the world. They could easily just drop that. And they've already and then switch to Game Pass. That would give them a massive number of people I think would jump in. And Game Pass, I mean, at $10 a month or $130 a year, whatever the case may be, it's almost a no-brainer considering what you get with it, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of feel a little more like I kind of feel like a little more like the Xbox Live model as we know it is about to go away, and the paid service on that is almost done. And then whoever has like existing service on Xbox Live, they're just gonna be flipped over into Game Pass because some of those people may not already have it, and those people will finally get and those people they'll jump in there. They'll be like, you know what, this is pretty awesome. Like I haven't seen anywhere. So if you guys have, please correct me, but I haven't seen anywhere where you can buy a 1-year subscription to Game Pass. Just like
it doesn't exist.
Right. It's just purely a month.
Yeah, it's usually what, 1 or 3 months?
Yeah. I don't. Is it 3 months?
Yeah.
It's I'm not even sure that I've seen 3 months. I think
sure.
it's just month to month, $9.99. So I feel like that's kind of where we're going with that.
Steve?
I was gonna save this for like my bold prediction, but it's almost the exact same thing. I think Matt, a couple episodes ago, or maybe it was Josh, you guys were talking about the bundle of Xbox Live and Game Pass, and it got me thinking, like, what better way to get user acquisition off of PlayStation and onto Xbox than merging the two and doing a price reduction, combining them both and doing like maybe a $40 price model, or maybe even like a $50 one, and saying, hey, we'll give you, we might not have like the stable of games that PlayStation does, but we have over 100 games you can play. We have all the same third-party games.
Right.
Call of Duty, for example, they have their partnership with Sony, but if you can play with all your friends and get access to 100 other games on Game Pass for $40, well, it's kind of a no-brainer that people will go with the cheaper model if they're getting the exact same experience, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think that every year they come out and say, you know, we're giving you some consumer friendly models, and I think they always come out with a platform, right? Whether it's Game Labs or Design Labs, sorry, whether or not it's
Mhm.
Game Pass last year. I think they're going to come out and say, listen, last year was a success with Game Pass. This year we're going to give you a discounted rate. That's my prediction, anyways.
All right. Steph?
I think potentially they're going to announce some huge DLC or expansion to Sea of Thieves as kind of the
Pretty safe, yeah.
yeah, as part of
Yeah.
their Game
Yeah,
Pass
safe
thing.
bet.
I feel like it was both bigger than they expected to be, but also more disappointing.
Mhm.
It was very mixed reaction, so I think they're gonna try pull it back somehow with some huge DLC or expansion.
Mhm.
I mean, they poured so much money into it. I feel like they have to.
Yeah.
Well, they released a roadmap a
Yeah.
couple weeks after the release saying this is what you're going to look forward to. I'm almost surprised we haven't seen any of it release yet. So I have to assume that they're going to save it for E3 at this point.
Well, there is a new there is a content drop coming in soon for Sea of
Right.
Thieves. So, but yeah, I agree with Steph that we're going to see a massive DLC.
Oh,
think,
and they're gonna bring in like a crap ton of YouTubers and crap to like, oh, look, you know, like do some reaction videos.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate when they do that.
I hate reaction videos. I hate reaction videos.
The fake commentary. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do a reaction video to this very podcast later this
Okay.
week.
I think we are. I know it's been mentioned a few times. We're going to see kind of like a revival of some IP, and part of with what was mentioned, you know, the OG Xbox games hitting backwards compatibility. I think we're going to see everyone's favorite redheaded super secret agent Joanna Dark make a return.
Nice.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I'd be down
I
with
think
that.
yeah. I think we're
Yep.
going to see.
It's the right timing too.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Joanna Dark make a return to this, because yeah, I see it quite often. A lot of people want another entry in the Perfect Dark series. I never really played Perfect
Okay.
Dark Zero because that was the prequel to the N64 Perfect Dark. Loved the N64 Perfect Dark, but yeah, I could see a return to that world in
Yeah.
glorious 4K.
I think it's time.
Who's making it? Probably not Rare.
That's actually a
Coalition?
good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which studio.
I think it's going to be a
would
new
come back and
studio.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
could even go along with the other prediction that it's going to be a return IP from
Yeah.
a big
I
studio.
think Microsoft has been, you know, pushing for creating new studios, acquiring new studios. So I think it's going to be from a
Mhm.
name that isn't usually under the Microsoft belt that does it.
Yep. Dennis?
My second prediction has to do with Playdead, the developers of Limbo and Inside. So I think they're going to announce their third game and reveal some gameplay during.
Mhm.
It's usually a showcase, Xbox, at Xbox. So I think that's what's going to happen. I don't really
Mhm.
know when it would be released. I would say maybe 2019, but maybe 2020 at best. So that's my prediction.
Oh, you think it's that far off, eh?
I don't know, like because like they have a weird release schedule because like Limbo came out like a long time ago and there was like a good chunk of time between that
Yeah.
and Inside because I think they got more like money because they started releasing Limbo on PlayStation and other platforms.
Yeah.
So they've been incubating a bit on Inside. So I think there's a lot of motivation to release their game. I know they're working on a third game at least.
Right, because we saw screenshots.
Yep. So
Do you think that, well, going back, do you think that it could be possible it releases this year? Because how far away was Inside shown before it was released. I thought it was the same year.
Yeah, I don't really know
Mhm.
about that.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway.
I like your thought. I think the timing on that is a little suspect. Like, I don't think 2020. I think it might be a little far, but
I'm just playing safe.
maybe
Just in case.
19.
Yeah. All right, Josh, take us into your third prediction.
My third prediction is we're getting games this year that we haven't been told about. Well, no, that's not true. let me go back just a tiny bit. We're getting games this year that we are aware of, but it is happening this year. So we're gonna get Crackdown. It's in 2019. I know it's been awful quiet on that front. I'm gonna be really bold on this one and say that Crackdown is coming out week of E3.
Cool.
Okay.
And Gears 5 is in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Ballsy. Yeah, but
So you think we get
Crackdown is
another
coming.
Gears before we get another Halo?
I think so, because I feel like Halo, the last one was so
Underwhelming. Yeah.
it was so mixed. No, I enjoyed it, but I feel like the reception on it was so mixed that they want to
Nail it.
really they wanted to dial it back a bit and really kind of open the onion and look at all the different layers and go piece by piece and build what we as fans and Microsoft people want to see and they what we want, like less
Okay.
Locke, more
Yeah.
Master Chief. Like Locke was a cool character, and don't get me wrong. I mean, he belongs in a different game. Maybe ODST2 would actually also be another one that I would consider to be a potential announcement / release for 2019. And maybe Locke is the lead of that crew. Just again, really bold, probably unlikely, but I mean, we've seen stranger things happen
True.
before, right?
Yeah. I just hope that it's a bit longer than Halo 5 was. I found Halo 5 was short. It felt short anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Nice. Steve.
Okay. So last year, a studio called Studio Gobo, now called Electric Square, released just a screenshot on Twitter saying that they partnered up with Microsoft Studios. There wasn't any other news. That was back in March or April of last year. So I think that we're going to see a brand new game from them. They're split into two teams, but one is now concentrating on a brand new game for Microsoft Studios. I think that, hey, it could even be Perfect Dark. Who knows? They've been involved with games like For Honor and Disney Infinity. So, I mean, pretty big games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get a pretty big title as well to work on.
Yeah, that's true. Steph?
I've been seeing a lot of talks of like two different games. One being Fable 4 and the other being Forza. I mean, Forza's a pretty safe bet. They kind
Forza's
of
guaranteed.
Yeah, they turn those out
extremely safe
quick. Bet. It's kind of like sports games at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fable 4 I think was an interesting one because it's a little different to a lot of Microsoft games and IP. And I don't know when was the last Fable game?
Well, Lionhead got shut down.
Yeah.
This is a new studio.
And then there was
2010.
There was that co-op game that got canceled a while ago.
Legends.
It was garbage.
It wasn't Fable.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I wanted from Fable.
No, it wasn't.
Also, if I remember correctly, earlier this year, I think it was confirmed that Microsoft is working on another Fable game, like another entry.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors, and I think it was one of the games that was under that Walmart leak. So it'll be interesting. I think so.
Was it?
No,
I
don't believe so.
Thanks for ruining my fun stat. I don't know. I'm
I
not
think
really
it's
sure. I can't remember.
safer to say it would be next year, if anything. Because the studio just got formed earlier this year, so
yeah.
If anything, they would show like maybe a splash screen of like Fable 4,
or them just saying we're working on Fable, just like in a public setting instead of on the internet.
It's definitely too early to show any
Hmm.
sort of gameplay.
Yeah. For my 3, I'm starting to. I'm terrible at these, so I'm starting to kind of scrape the bottom.
Go down the hole.
Scrape the bottom. I think. Yeah. I think we're gonna see some more about accessibilities for gamers with disabilities.
Yeah.
I think that new controller is just kind of the beginning. Because and like this is just unbelievable that Microsoft's doing this. But I think we're going to start seeing some more stuff, whether it's like some more things with games being designed specific, like pushing developers to include special game like control modes for disabled gamers. And I know not a lot of people like this, but maybe some more stuff with voice control, trying to improve upon that. I think that's I know. But I think that would be, if they can really start helping to bring gaming to and make it easier for people with disabilities to partake in and enjoy. I think that's going to be a huge win for Microsoft. I've got a friend from back home who's disabled, and he has to control everything through 3 buttons on his headrest and a button where his elbow goes and that steers his chair. Plus then that can be disabled and he gets hooked up into his computer so he can play certain games with that. So I think something that he'd be able to maybe do something in like a console game or something.
That would be cool.
Would be really cool. So I think we're going to see some more stuff with controls and making gaming that much more accessible.
Well, they've been very good in pushing the forefront with accessibility, and big ups to that. Like I know on Mixer, their platform, they have live captions and other accessibility options, and just big ups. Like I don't think we see that from enough first party support. So add respect.
Yeah.
Dennis.
Okay, this is gonna be one of my bold predictions.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Strap in.
Yeah. So like, Microsoft is not really my wheelhouse. So like, I'm trying to be very interesting with these predictions. So yeah, maybe. I don't know. Sure, why not? I think my next prediction will go around a certain CD Projekt Red game. Cyberpunk 2077. I think it will be showcased. I don't think a release date will be announced.
Okay.
Again, maybe a release year. I don't know, but they'll add that this will be an exclusive. Not for.
Whoa!
I'm not. I'm
huge.
I'm not going for that kind of big exclusive. I'm thinking maybe a 1 month exclusive. How about that? Okay. Yeah. Timed exclusive.
Okay.
Timed exclusivity.
If Microsoft comes out and says we have CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 exclusive to Xbox
for 1 month.
Oh my god, that would be huge. I think. No, I'm saying like if they had the balls to fork out enough money to say no, we have the exclusive rights to it, that would be huge for them.
It'd be a lot of money
absolutely.
for Projekt Red, that's for sure.
If the success of Witcher 3 is anything, I think
they got the money.
Exactly. Just throw it out. Why not?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, it would be. It would definitely make their conference a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Because like I own Witcher 3, but I didn't play it. I was like, I just can't deal with it. Plus, I don't really like the medieval setting, and like Cyberpunk 2077, it interests me very much because of that, that futuristic kind of game looking. I kind of want to see at least them to showcase at Microsoft's conference, just to see what it looks like gameplay wise, if they're going to show that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very interesting.
All right, Josh, let's take us into your last Microsoft prediction.
Well, we're okay. I mean, we all know what's coming. Halo. We see Master Chief. What's happening? We get our first like real big reveal that's happening. 2019 is the window.
Right.
Probably fall. I don't think we're not going to see that any sooner. We're probably not going to see much more than kind of like the reveals for Halo 2 and Halo 3, where they show, little peaks of new weapons or new abilities that he's got, and then fade to black.
Do you think
2019.
that in this one,
That's it.
Master Chief will also wear a cape that we don't see in the final game?
I'm hoping he wears like a corset, maybe. I don't know.
A top hat, maybe? Oh, okay.
But definitely a bow tie.
He's going formal.
Like he's
Yes.
super. It starts off with him like pretending to be a waiter. He's deep undercover, and and he's serving champagne to elites of the whatever the Covenant race, and then he busts out the machine gun and starts whooping ass. And then
I like it.
Yeah, that's
pretty safe that this whole thing will end up panning out.
I think so. Yeah.
I feel like I have just created a AAA winner for the Halo franchise.
Yeah,
you can.
We're gonna have Microsoft contacting
Microsoft.
us.
I will give you my banking information to forward me that money. Thank you.
Steve, what's your last prediction?
My last prediction is Capcom comes out to reveal Dead Rising 5. I think it's time. There's been enough of a space between 4 and 5, and it's just
as exclusive to Microsoft for the first year, like before.
Probably there's probably some sort of either exclusive window or it's just going to be on Microsoft or on Xbox.
I'm pretty sure my buddy said that Capcom Vancouver is working on the next one already, or they have been. So that's a very strong possibility.
I just think it's time.
Yeah.
So
Steph?
I don't know. I mean, I think last year they had a splash of like Microsoft indies, which
was
that's what I look forward to. As to what they will announce, I'm not 100% sure. But I don't know. Maybe there's been a lot of talks of a new Borderlands game. So
anything that's showcased at Microsoft, or they're announcing some like exclusive DLC or partnership for like marketing, things like that, the way Call of Duty does with Sony?
I don't know. Like, I think we do see a lot of crossovers, like the actual publisher or developer will do like the main thing, but then Xbox will do some kind of lead into the others. Like, I find there is some bleed over, at least with the Walmart leak. It's only showing on Xbox. So maybe they'll just say, hey, exclusive on Xbox, Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Borderlands is just one of those games everyone loves to hate on.
That's for sure.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to love it.
I only played the first one. I only played the first one on PC, and I did enjoy it. I liked being able to play co-op, like online co-op. Again, played with the guy from back home occasionally, but I only got maybe a third way through the story.
It's a long game.
And then
I think the only
so I've heard.
I played 1 and 2 a bit, but I didn't really like it. But I played the Telltale. That was good. That was fun.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I honestly, I really don't have anything for a fourth prediction. I can't really think of anything that my stuff that I've seen around the sub and read online. I can't really think of anything. So Dennis, why don't you take us home?
My last one is a safe one. I'm just gonna say there's a second Ori game. So Ori and the Will of the Wisps released, because it's slated for 2018. So I think they're just gonna confirm it's coming out this fall. So that's my fourth one. I would say it's yeah.
I forgot all about that. Good point.
Sweet.
Cool. Well, we'll see, I guess, in 3 weeks? 3 weeks time, we'll see how many of us were on the money, how many of us were way out in left field, and we'll see what Microsoft brings, regardless of kind of what we've come up with. Microsoft, I think we can all agree that Microsoft is planning something absolutely massive. They really need to do that. A lot of people are really kind of ripping on the platform and I hate seeing it. Xbox has no games, which is a really stupid statement because the amount of content on that platform is unbelievable.
It should be there's no games for me because that's me as a gamer. Xbox has no games as me as a gamer.
Exactly.
Yeah, same
fair.
here.
Exactly. Yeah, and the other thing is Microsoft. Xbox has no exclusives because whatever. So I guess we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in 3 weeks. Well, I would say that about wraps it up for the first part of our E3 predictions episode. We're doing things a little bit differently for this one in that we're releasing it in 4 separate parts just because there's a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. So today was our Microsoft predictions. This coming Thursday is going to be our Sony prediction episode, followed up next week by our Nintendo prediction episode, and then the Thursday after that is going to be our third-party prediction episode. So be sure to tune in to all of those episodes so that you can get all of our predictions and call us out on where we were wrong and how badly we were wrong, and also see kind of what we decided to, or not, I guess not really decided, but what we got right. And
Pineapples
that'll be
You suck.
And then
that'll be on the next episode of Canadian Geekcast.